Hi, I'm Jackson.
Hi, I'm Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Amy.
Hi, my name is Martha.
Hi, I'm Jade.
Hi, I'm Neve.
And we are currently studying HND Makeup Artistry
At West College Scotland, Greenock campus.
And we're here to tell you a little bit about what to expect in your first year of the 2-year HND course.
The units you will cover
And the things you will learn.
But we're not going to give you all of the answers.
Sculpting and flat mold production for prosthetic makeup unit and special makeup effect unit. For both units, we had to start from research. We're looking for sculpting products and tools, materials like gelatin, latex, silicone. We're looking for reference pictures with real bruising, lacerations, broken bones, swelling, also healing process of scars and stitches. The practical assessment for flat mold unit required to design foreign woods, produce flat molds and prosthetic pieces, apply prosthetic pieces and remove them safely. For special effect assessment, we all had different scenarios for work on. For example, I get a gas explosion at workplace. I had to work on 2 models and produce chemical burns, broken bone effect, bruises and cuts, how they look just 10 minutes after accident happened. Then for one of my model, I had to show healing process, and for second model, show skin discoloration and autopsy scar. I find both units very interesting. I had opportunity to learn how important research is. I could practice using different tools and materials. I used this knowledge for my graded unit on the end of the year.
So production study is both a solo and group project. You're given a pre-existing theatre production, and if you pardon the pun, you're allowed to flip the script and completely make it your own in any way you want. For the solo portion of this unit, you're required to research numerous different jobs and professions within the theatre industry that all help bring a show to the stage from what is initially on the script. You're also required to mark up a script in the way a makeup designer would for a show, with any noticeable makeup changes, hair changes that a character might have throughout the run of the show, and also sort of any entrances and exits and any sort of noteworthy things that they will go through, or whenever they have to return to you for any touch-ups and things like that. For the group portion, you're essentially putting together your own version of this production without actually having to stage it. So you get full control over the setting and aesthetic. You can set it anywhere you want, however you want. You can style the characters however you want. You don't have to stick to the way the production is originally done. You can do that, but it's a lot more fun if you just make it your own. Each team member will have a different role to play. Someone will be the director, the producer, the costume designer, the sort of artistic designer, the set designer, that kind of thing. And last but certainly not least, of course, the head and makeup designer. Production studies the sort of first time you get to work as part of a group with some of your classmates. So my advice is, don't take them for granted. Use your group, take in all of their advice and listen to each other, because for your second year production study, you're completely on your own and you're going to really miss your group.
In this unit you will learn about the 20s, the 40s, 60s and the 80s hair and makeup. So in the 20s the hair was up and updo with finger waves. His hair was relatively shorter and they wore a dark red lip and smoky black eyes. For the 40s it was more of a bright red lip and the rest of the face was really natural, and the hair was in victory rolls and would be up in the back and sometimes would also be down in the back. Then for the 60s it was all about the beehive, so the hair was very high and they would have a pale face and as well as pale lips and pale eyes, or sometimes blue eyes. Then for the 80s, the colour was out, the hair was wild, every colour was everywhere. They would have orange lips, purple lips, anything they wanted, the blusher was on. And for me, I chose to do the 40s and the 80s. So for my 40s look, I decided to to do my look based off of Peggy Carter from Captain America. So I had the victory rolls in the front, and I had done the wartime look that I got quite a nice costume from that. My biggest worry for that was the red lip. Because the rest of the makeup's really natural, that's what everyone goes to is the lip, so it had to be perfect. Luckily it got there with some lip liner and desperation. And yeah, I was really proud of how it came out. I was proud of the hair, the makeup, the whole look. Then for my 80s look, I did do a look based off a little bit of Annie Lennox, but also kind of Jeffree Star. I done orange and purple. My model was all crimped hair and half up, half down, leather jacket, bright orange top and bright orange lips, and I was really proud of that one as well. And the photo shoots were really fun for both of them. It was definitely one of my favourite units, and I think everyone will enjoy it.
The first unit I'll be talking to you about is the health and safety unit. This is a unit you do in your second block in your first year of your HND. It's the only project that you'll do that's completely theory based, and it, just like the other projects, it's got 3 outcomes. So the first outcome is, as a class, you will all gather round and you're going to collate a big list of government legislation related to health and safety that's related to the makeup industry, and then you break it down into the categories of who it applies to. Would it be the person who owns say it's a salon? Is it the employer, the employee, or the customer? So you'll break them all down and make a list as a class, but your words will be your own. The second outcome, you will be given 5 makeup products by your lecturer. For example, one of the ones we were given was foundation, and you're going to look at that item from the perspective of health and safety. So you're going to look at possible expiry dates, the most hygienic, safe way to use it, risks involved in using it, and things to that effect. Your final outcome, you're going to choose 2 makeup companies of your choice, and you're going to compare them in the perspective of health and safety and also environmental awareness. So you're going to look at how they dispose of products, their environmental impact, if it's good or bad, positive aspects of both, negative, and then at the end you do a small compare and contrast essay to compare the 2. Best advice for this one is to work as a class. Even though you're going to have your own individual unit, a lot of the work's going to be done as a team. Don't be afraid to ask for help from other people in the class. You're all there to complete the unit together. And the biggest bit of advice would be, this might be the only one you're going to do that's completely theory based, but a makeup course isn't just going to be makeup, you're going to be doing a lot of writing. This one's probably the best one to throw yourself into because it'll make all the ones where you do a little bit of writing a lot easier. Good luck with that. The second unit I'm going to be talking to you about is the period hair and makeup unit. This one is a bit strange compared to the other ones in terms of the amount of work and how it's dispersed. So I would say about 50% research and 50% is practical. It might sound a bit off-putting, but it's a really fun unit and you're going to learn a lot of things that you didn't know. You begin with, you're given the list of eras you're going to look at. So there's 3 ancient civilization eras, which is ancient Egyptian, ancient Rome and ancient Greece. And then your 2 century-based periods are 18th and 19th, and you're going to be looking at the same topics for each one. So for all 5 of those, the 3 ancient and the 2 centuries, you're going to be looking at the same things. So it's going to be looking at the hair of the time, the makeup of the time, the fashion of the time, and the social dynamics and constructs, especially if you can relate that to anything to do with hair, makeup and fashion. So all the same for those 5, and then at the end you're focusing more on the 18th and the 19th centuries. You have to do 1 male look and 1 female look, of your choice, depending on any aspects of the 18th and the 19th centuries that you liked. So the only stipulations are that 1 has to be male, 1 has to be female, 1 of them has to use a hard front and 1 of them has to use a lace front wig. This will tie into the hairdressing and the wig styling units. One piece of advice I would give you for this unit is not so much on the practical side, because you're going to be doing a lot of the practice work with wigs and makeup with everyone else in the class. It's more to do with your research, and I would say don't just rely on the internet. As much as it's easy to Google ancient Egyptian hair, ancient Egyptian makeup, it's much better for your research and also for how your looks are going to turn out if you really kind of put the effort in to look at different sources. So I would recommend books and also anything that the lecturer can maybe suggest, because they've obviously done the unit lots of times. They'll be able to point you in the right direction. The library at this campus, the Greenock campus, are really helpful, and they've got a really good selection of stuff related not just to history but makeup and history. So I would definitely vary your sources and don't just rely on the internet. It's a really fun unit, and I wish you the best of luck when you eventually do it.
I'm going to chat to you about the hairstyle maintenance and aging units. So in the hairstyle and maintenance unit, it's quite a heavy unit, but you'll learn all your cutting techniques. So you'll learn your short graduation, long graduation, rounded layer and a straight cut. You will also learn some blow drying techniques. I would advise take lots of notes and listen in this unit because it can be really intricate and hard to pick up. But soak up all of the skills from your lecturer, they're great, they'll help you. It might seem a bit strange to be covering hairstyling when you're on a makeup course, but it is really essential that you know all these techniques and skills when you go out to the industry, because you will use them. The aging unit is when you can transform your friends into an old lady. You will learn the difference between theatre and TV and film makeup for aging, because it's completely two different things. For theatre, it will be one look, and it is quite a heavy makeup. You don't really blend as much as you would in TV. For TV and film, you can do 3 decades. And you will use latex in different products for this one. And my advice is just take in all the experience that you can, ask loads of questions from the lecturers, they're great, and the best of luck and you'll do great.
I'm going to talk about graded unit. It's like the biggest part of the course. It's like the very end one that you probably focus your most of your time on. Last year we got the option to pick between 20th century, ageing and special effects makeup, and I went with special effects makeup. You have 9 weeks to plan it out. I think you might have gotten longer, but because of COVID we had to cut it short. Just research as much information as possible. Like if you're when I chose special effects, I linked it to the TV show Silent Witness, so just research as much as you can on it to help you when it's coming to creating your final look. You can have references back to it. So I looked at episodes, injuries, things that would cause those injuries for it. Just as you're doing it, remember to take pictures of each stage. So you can, if somebody asks, "Oh, how did you achieve that?" You can show, "Oh, well, I started off this and ended up with this." So always take pictures and explain how you done it in case somebody doesn't understand the pictures. But when it comes to the end, just make sure that when it comes to evaluation, talk about what would you have done better, how well you done, just things you could improve on if you could do it again. But mainly pick something you'd enjoy, as it goes in really fast, but honestly, you will love it.